Hello everybody and welcome back to part 3 of Sakura Succubus 2. Let's jump in, shall we? The following day passes quite like the previous one. I'm roused by the smell of Hifumi's wonderful cooking and eat a delicious breakfast prepared by her hands. Then I go for a walk, not in the Rokin's garden this time, but in the sprawled countryside around it. I take photographs at my leisure, using my phone and idle away the hours amongst the embrace of nature. Getting out of the city sure is luxury, relaxing. The air is nice and clean, and the sky is so blue. The weather's been great throughout my stay. I only hope it holds up. In a few days, I'll have to go back to Tokyo. I doubt I'll see Hifumi again after that. If she does want to make me hers, she'll have to make a start on her nefarious plans. But I can't see that happening anytime soon. Are you and Cosmos paranoid? Being the youngest of their succubus clan, it makes sense they'd feel threatened by an older, beautiful, more experienced succubus. I guess they don't know Hifumi as well as they know Marina, so they're on their guard. Marina, for her part, seemed pretty close to Hifumi. She didn't make any unpleasant insinuations about her character. It really is a mystery. That night, I decided to go for a dip in the hot springs. The water of the springs is nothing short of luxurious, and I'm sure it'll help me clear my head. I make my way to the changing rooms, my wooden sandals clanking against the titanium mat hallway. When I arrive, I strip off my clothes and wrap a towel around my waist. Then I set off for the private mixed-gender hot springs that Marina booked for us. This hot spring is a secluded one, located a brief walk away from the male and female baths. It's a pleasant spot. The springs lined up with damp rocks, the air thick with steam. The water itself is clear and crystalline. I can see the moon reflected into the surface, and all the stars. A cool breeze tugs at the thin towel, and I shiver. Alright, that's enough admiring the scenery. If I don't step into this water, I'll catch a cold. I reach for the towel around my waist, ready to relinquish it. Oh my! I thought I would be alone here. Who is this? Ah! A tinkling bell-like voice makes me grip my towel even tighter about me. There's somebody else in the spring. Judging by their tone of voice, it's a woman. Who is it? Their voice does sound familiar, but I'm in such a panicked state I can't think of who it might be. I'm a man at night, intruding upon a young woman, and we're all alone. This is a sexual harassment charge in the making. I could say it's an accident, but who believed me? I'm in hot water here, though not literally, not yet. I'm very sorry. I bow deeply, not that my mysterious woman can see me, and clutch my towel a bit tighter. If it was you, Cosmos, or Marina in the hot springs, I wouldn't care about my nakedness, but I don't want to strip off in front of a complete stranger. I should probably get going fast before I get accused of any suspect. But I'm not the one at fault here. This is a private hot spring. Marina booked it specially for the four of us. There shouldn't be anybody else here. Who is this mystery person bathing in the springs? If only the steam wasn't so thick, I might be able to see them better. As it is, all I can make out is a vague outline. I can see the curves of a smooth back, white as porcelain, and long black tresses. Could it be? That voice, which apologized just now, I believe it belongs to a man. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is quite the conundrum. Has, Brigane come to steal my virtue? That would be quite unfortunate. Please, I beg you, if you wish to have your way with me, do it so quickly. Do not prolong the torturous process. Now, what is this person babbling about? No, you've got the wrong idea. I haven't come to take advantage of you or anything. I don't even know who you are. I thought this bath would be empty, I swear. This is all a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? The woman blinks through the fog at me. So you don't wish to embrace me? No, that's the last thing I want. I'm not a criminal. Oh, I see. Now, that is a pity. How is it a pity? Shouldn't you be relieved? You were the one crying out your chastity just now. But of course, women must be modest about these kinds of things. It wouldn't do to cry, "Take me, please," to the first intruder that comes along. But engaging in a trust beneath the light of the moon with a mysterious assailant does sound somewhat romantic. It's like something from a novel. A heavy sigh. Woe is me. I'm so disappointed. I went all through the efforts of coming here, to the private hot springs where nobody might overhear our moans of passion. So she does know she's intruding. Was this calculated from the very beginning? Yet you do not even wish to take advantage of the situation. What sort of man are you? Am I not attractive enough to light the tinder of desire with your breasts? I can't really say. It's so steamy, I can't see your face. And I cannot see yours. Step forth, please, so that I may see you more clearly. I would like to know with what gentleman I am conserving, who would turn me down. I really don't think that's a good idea. I turn, ready to leave. Then a cool gust of wind blows. It shakes the leaves on the trees, and the perilous short towel that's wound around my waist. It parts the worst of the steam, too. Now I can finally see. The woman singing in Hot Spring is none other than... Hifumi? My. Hifumi smiles. She doesn't seem at all embarrassed about her earlier utterance, and neither does she seem that surprised to see me. Did she know I was here all along? I'm starting to wonder. Hey, Hifumi, were you teasing me? Now, whatever gave you that idea? Yeah, me too. You are one of my dear friends. I am very appreciative towards you. I would never dream of making you feel uncomfortable. Or so she says, but her smile doesn't waver. Oh God. She reminds me of the one from Doki Doki. I can't remember her name. Maybe Cosmos and you were right about her after all. She isn't the demure, elegant lady I thought she was. Right. Well, I glance away from Rifumi awkwardly. Yuri, yes. It's hard to meet my idol in the eyes when she's wearing nothing more than a towel. I should probably go now. I don't want to bother you. Oh no, don't leave. Though we are sharing the same lodging at the present. I've been so busy attending to chores, I haven't had the chance to speak to you all day. That you found me, quite by chance, I might add. Must be fate's way of saying we ought to not be parted. Would you care to sit with me and dip your feet in this warm water? It should help alleviate the cold of this bleak night. Geez, Hifumi's style of talking is so fancy. She sounds like she comes from a different era. Her Japanese is very refined and polite. I could get swept up in the melodic cadences of her voice. Her offer certainly sounds tempting. I came to the spring so I could relax in the water, but will I really be able to relax with Hifumi by my side? Besides, something about Hifumi's words don't sit quite right with me. You said our meeting was by chance? What else could it be, other than the whims of fate? This is proof that we were simply meant to be together. Yeah, right. Succubi might have inserted themselves into my once ordinary existence, but I still don't believe in fate. It's too vague and unscientific. Didn't you just say that you came into this private hot spring on purpose? Oh, did I? Yes, you did. You know you did. You said you came here on purpose, so that nobody could hear our... Well, you should have known when you came here that this wasn't the regular women's hot spring. You weren't hoping to run into me, were you? Now that is quite the accusation. What would you do if I answered your allegations in the positive? Would you be disappointed in me, Hiroki? Would you think me helplessly wicked? Would you even stop being my fan? What? No, of course not. But you sound so serious. You make me feel as though I've done something wrong. Technically, you did do something wrong. You trespassed in these private springs, which Marina booked for us. But I wouldn't hold it against you. I just want to know the truth. Did you really come here to meet me? My, are you a sharp one, aren't you? Hifumi laughed softly. Yes, that is right. I knew full well that this hot spring was a private one. I am trespassing, I'll admit. But I did so only because I wished to see your face once more. It feels like it's been so long since we last spoke. I've missed you. You missed me? Yes, indeed. Now that's hard to parse. I can't imagine the famous actress Yamamoto Hifumi missing me. It's insane that she went out of her way to speak to me. I never thought she'd stoop to such underhanded methods. She seems like such a well-mannered woman. But maybe you and Cosmos were right about her. She's more devious than she looks. I'm flattered, but why would you miss me? I'm nothing special. Toot toot. Hifumi waves one finger in my direction. You may admonish me for lying, Hiroki, but that does not give you carte blanche to do so yourself. What do you mean? I mean that you are not being entirely truthful either. You say you're not special, but that is untrue. It is a blatant falsehood. If you were not special, Marina would not have taken such an interest in you, nor Cosmos, nor you. This fact alone has made me very curious about you. My sisters are awfully picky when it comes to men. It's rare that they're all in agreement on anything. Heh, I can believe that. You and Cosmos are always at one another's throat. It often falls upon Marina to act as their educator. They're all succubi, but in terms of taste and personalities, they're quite dissimilar. They all seem to love you, though. You and Cosmos are particularly smitten. The way they fought over your affection the night prior was quite the sight. I was surprised, but I'm also impressed. Happy, too. I was pleased for Cosmos. She's always been so awkward. I feared she would never find a suitable partner. You, too, can be quite difficult. She's bad at admitting her true feelings, and she frightens people anyway. I've never seen her care for anybody quite so brazenly before. I felt like a proud big sister. I'm so glad my naughty younger siblings have grown up and discovered what love is. I thought to myself. But it made me want to know more about you, too. If you and Cosmos adore you, then you must be special. I had hoped we could speak more, so that I might discern just how special you are. I see. I can understand Hifumi's interest, at least, but now I'm beginning to wonder if I'll disappoint her. Tell Hifumi she shouldn't get her hopes up. Tell Hifumi you'd like to talk to her more. Well, that works out well. I'd like to talk to you more, too. You would? Of course. I'm a fan of yours, remember? I'm honored you'd go out on your way to speak to me. But I am curious about something. If you wanted to talk to me so badly, why didn't you approach me earlier? Wouldn't that be easier than waiting in the hot spring, hoping I'd come along? There was no guarantee I would come here tonight. I suppose not, but I thought this my best option. I truly have been busy working at this Roken. I have little free time during the day to spare, not that I mind much. I enjoy good, honest work, and I particularly like employing my hands. Cooking and cleaning makes me happy. I don't have much time to spare you. Intriguing, though, I find you. Right, I wouldn't. Shit. Then isn't that all more reason to speak to me directly? But this directness is far too harsh. It would remove the romance from our encounters. For true understanding to blossom, it must be done by chance, beneath the light of the moon. That is how all love stories start. In movies, maybe. But movies are all I know. I have been an actress for over a decade, and I know how tales between men and women should unfold. Women who are too forthright are considered unladylike. If I wanted to maintain my appeal, I cannot afford to chase you down. All my time spent among you humans has taught me that women should be meek, shy, and graceful. I have attempted to cultivate that image as best I can. A lady cannot seem to look desperate. It simply does not do. So that's why you wanted me to look like an accident? Yes, indeed. I am glad you have grasped it so simply, Hiroki. Hifumi's smile is light and refreshing, but it does little to ease my headache. What a convoluted way of going about things. I think Hifumi's idea of how women should act is a bit dated. Men might have preferred shy, passive flowers in the past, but it's the 21st century now. Girls like Cosmos who post half-naked photos of themselves online are all the rage, not to mention bubbly idols like you. In the future, could you come to me directly when you want to talk? It'd make things a lot easier. You would prefer that? I fear that would ruin some of my charm. But if that is what you like, I shall do my best. Right, thanks. I'm glad this has been, more or less, cleared up, but speaking of being meek and shy, you weren't exactly mild when I first stumbled upon you. You were practically begging me to ravish you. I did? You know you did. Now, that is funny. Hifumi presses a finger against her lower lip. I'm sorry, but I can't quite recall saying anything of the sort. Sure you can't. I heave a sigh. Hifumi can't be as modest as she makes out. If she was, she wouldn't be conversing to me by a hot spring of all places. This woman is full of contradictions. Her true nature might even be harder to grasp than a use. At least a use just a sundar. It's just a, I don't know. That is a simple trope I can understand. What about Hifumi though? Is she trying to mess with my head on purpose? Well, whatever. If you really can't remember what you said like 5 seconds ago, which I very much doubt, then I guess I'll let it slide. Oh, are you going to drop the subject just like that? Isn't that what you want? I had hoped you might probe a little deeper, yes. Something about the word probe makes my face flush. It comes loaded with a lot of connotations. I try to appear graceful and dignified, as a proper lady should. But I am not a normal woman. My father was a Japanese man, but my mother was a succubus, like the rest of my sisters. I too prey on the adorer of humans. That is what I really am. I act during my movies, yes. But I am always acting during my day-to-day life amongst you humans too. My fans want me to be a meek, mild, submissive beauty. I do my best to appease them, but it can get stifling. Sometimes I need to let off steam. Now, we are in the mountains. There's nobody else around. It's just me and you. So why don't you just answer my expectation? Won't you come into spring with me? I can warm you up. Afumi's violet eyes flash like flames. Think of it as a reward for being such a loyal fan of mine. I want to get to know you better, Hiroki. I want to get to know you like my sisters have. Can I not? Is it no good? Are you not interested? No, that isn't it. That's not it at all. I'm still your fan, Hifumi. I'm a huge fan. I love you. Well, that is a relief. I was beginning to worry. But if you are my fan, why do you hesitate? Won't you come closer? I would love to follow Hifumi, but you and Cosmo's warning still ring my ears. They said that she would make me her slave. Just how true is this statement? Is Hifumi really dangerous? I don't know. But part of me worries if I step into that water after her, my life will change for good. It's as I stand on the ledge of the hot spring, pondering that I hear it. It's a loud, angry cry, and then the slapping of feet. Somebody's coming closer. Why, you! Get away from my producer this instant, you harlot! Rah! Oh my! My! Oh shit! Oh shit! Hifumi squeals cutely, her indigo eyes widening as a force of nature descends upon her. Said force of nature comes in a form of a young 20-something-year-old woman, resplendent with slender limbs, orange twin tails, and a fearsome scowl. Of course it's none other than... you? Hifumi blinks at Ayu's cutely, one hand pressed against her cheek. She looks stunned as well as she might. Ayu's back is turned to me, but I can see her face in profile, and I can make out some of her expressions. Her eyes are narrowed, her brow furrowed. It would be an exaggeration to say that she looks pissed. Supremely pissed, in fact. Here's a random aside for you. When I was back in elementary school, we studied volcanoes. Our teacher even let us make our own volcanoes, with paper mache and baking soda and vinegar. When the vinegar was added to the baking soda, the chemical reaction bubbled up and erupted, explosively over the side of the DIY volcano. Why am I bringing this up now, you might ask? Well, Ayu reminds me of those volcanoes. She must have blown a gasket. How can one small, skinny woman contain such hate and rage with her body? It shouldn't be possible. I never got to. You're lucky. Scientists all over the world are baffled. Hey, Ayu, I am glad to see you, too, but this is quite sudden. Why are you glaring at me like that? You're making me feel as though I have done something wrong. You have done something wrong, you two-faced witch! Oh my. Hifumi purses her lips together. Are you not aware that I am your elder? You should show me some respect, as you do Marina. And whoever said I respected her? Pih! Ayu spits into the hot spring. I'm sure that's unhygienic, but I don't bring it up. There's more important matters at hand. Such is the teensy tiny fact that Ayu looks like she's going to murder Hifumi. I don't respect Marina, and I don't respect you even... I don't respect Marina, but I respect you even less. You might be older than me, but that doesn't mean you're smarter. And it certainly doesn't mean you're a better person. How could you do something so awful? How could you? Forgive me for my ignorance, but I'm not sure what it is exactly that you're accusing me of. Would you mind explaining to me simply so that I might understand? Me too. You know precisely what you're doing. Don't play dumb with me. You're trying to seduce Hiroki after I told you not to. How dare you try to steal my producer out from under my nose? You might be a bit older than me, but that doesn't give you a right to take everything I hold dear, like it belongs to you, damn it. I watch you and Hifumi's little disagreement, if you can call it that, play out from a safe distance. I haven't taken a single step into the hot spring yet. I'm still standing on the banks, dry as a bone. The water looks incredibly inviting. But the bickering Succubus sisters, not that they're real sisters, are putting me off. Ha! I sigh. I came all the way to the countryside so I could relax, but this scene is the exact opposite of relaxing. I don't really want to get embroiled in an argument. Well, I guess you two can call me if you need one. Need me? You know where my room is. Have fun and, try not to get too carried away. I sincerely hope Ayu doesn't try to drown Hifumi. That wouldn't kill her, would it? Being a succubus, she's sturdier than most humans. But succubi still need to eat and drink, and I presume, though I have no hard proof, they also need to breathe. Let's pray the story doesn't turn into a murder mystery. Just, don't do anything I wouldn't do, okay? Don't play too rough. And if one of you does die, I'd prefer it to happen in a way that doesn't incriminate me. In fact, if anybody asks, I wasn't even here. This isn't my problem. Bye! Though I am, ostensibly, the cause of this chaos, Hifumi and Ayu don't bother to look at me. They're far too wrapped up in one another. Grr, you stupid bimbo! That is a mean thing to say. But if it brings us closer, I care not what you call me. If this is your way of bonding, Ayu, I shall accept it. I'm glad you're opening up to me just a little bit more, hee hee. So stop laughing, you creep! This isn't funny. I'll kill you. I'll seriously kill you. Ah, sisterly love. I have never known it to be so intense. Your feelings for me have been heard, you. I will accept them all, no matter how forbidden they may be. Society might look down upon your love, but I never shall. What are you blabbering on about? I don't love you, you idiot. Why don't you drop dead? Yeah. Given the circumstances, hightailing it out of here really is the best course of action. These women are way too much for me to handle. After extricating myself from Hifumi in a highly intelligent debate, I returned to my room. As I was unable to take a dip in the hot springs, I instead have a warm shower, then change into my night clothes. I turn off the lights, then curl up beneath my futon. Leave my futon, utterly exhausted. Then, I fall asleep the moment my head hits the pillow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to call it. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Again, I really do. This is my third stream of the day. Second on Twitch. Second one on YouTube, first one on Twitch. Again, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. We'll be back at this again tomorrow. Don't know if I'm going to stream 3 times. Maybe just 2, maybe just once. Never know. All depends on how I'm feeling. If you're not subscribed, again, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out my channel, and I'm very appreciative if you do. But it's that time where I must bid you all adieu. Goodbye, and good night.